Hello, everybody. Yeah, welcome back to our Monday meeting. Um, yeah, we miss you all, and today will be led as usual by Lynn Rosen, my sweetheart, Mrs. Lynn Essadiki Rosen, and the subject will be Women of the World. As you know, every Monday we gather here for our Zoom meeting with ladies from many countries. Yeah, not yet. Yes. So I said that we gather every Monday and through Saving Souls Women's Network. And Saving Souls Women's Network, as I said, and Lynn's Kids organization group. Anyway, it's exactly 12:56, and actually and officially the meeting starts at 1 p.m. So welcome everyone, and waiting for my sweetheart Lynn to start leading this meeting. Yeah, look at my sweetheart Lynn. She's there. She has a new, she has a new shirt. I love you. So I'm just kidding, okay? So she's so deep in my heart. Okay, just we just opened, baby. Actually, they will be here after 1 p.m. Okay, so just log in, and I will let you talk. You are the host, and you are the leader of this meeting. Okay, so yeah, welcome everyone, and welcome back. Good. Let's wait for Lynn to log in first. Then we expect Lorena from New Mexico. We expect Najat from Nigeria. We expect Christina from Kenya, Africa. We expect more members of Saving Souls Women's Network and Men's Kids organization. Most of them are ladies. And we may see also some other members here with us in this weekly Zoom meeting we organize, I and Marlene, through Lynn's Kids organization. So the link, the official link of our organization is taufiklinskids.com. I repeat, taufikslinskids.com. Okay, how is Marlene? Yeah, go ahead. Hello. Okay, the stage is yours. Go ahead.
Just a minute. Is anybody else here?
Oh yeah. It's
So what's the point?
12:59. It's 12:59. So
I
be
understand that,
patient. we will
Taufik, and I
come.
respect that, but I'm just asking you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the way I like it when it's like, yeah, I'm just asking you if anybody's here. There's no point in talking if nobody's here.
Okay, so go ahead. They will be here. The stage is yours, lady.
Okay. This has to do with women all over the world. So we only have a couple of views today. I'm sure Lasita can talk about women of England, of London, or whatever. And I will be talking about women of New York.
Yes.
Taufik, I had invited somebody from Morocco, it didn't work. Like Taufik will be talking about women from Morocco, and Christina will be talking about women from Kenya, I believe it is. And that way we can talk about it. We will give it till 1:15. If nobody shows up, the meeting is over. So let's hope that people show up. I know Shirley was supposed to show up, but Shirley's brother is sick. And I think we should all say a prayer for him. He's in very bad shape. And I'm not sure about anybody or anything else. I've gotten 2 yeses. I'll definitely be there. And so I'm sitting here and I'm waiting with Taufik to see who will be here. And let's give it a minute or two. I was going to let Christina speak first because I think women of Africa have so much different than we have it. And I thought that would be a great way to start, but she isn't here yet. So,
Christine is here.
oh, great. Okay, let her in. Hello, Christine.
Asita is here.
Okay, Christine, unmute yourself. Oh, perfect. Now we're ready.
Everybody.
Okay, great. Now we have everybody here. Good morning, Lasita. Should I say good afternoon?
It's morning.
Good evening.
Christine is probably evening. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it funny? We have afternoon, so we've got it all covered. Okay. What time is it there, Lasita?
11 a.m.
Oh, why did I think that you would be? Because I keep confusing and thinking you're in California. That's why. So that's it. Okay, Christine. Now, I know you're here, and I'm glad you're here on time. We're going to start with you. Today's topic is going to be women and the different problems that women face around the world. If there are problems, there might be countries where there aren't problems, but we'll let Christine start with the difference of women in Kenya, the problems that they face. Is it better than it was years ago, or is it the same? Okay, Christine, take it away.
Good morning.
Good
My-
morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
My name's Christine Yama from Kenya. Sorry, my video is not good,
That's okay. We
here
can hear you.
but you can hear me well. Eh?
Perfect.
Yeah, sure. We hear you. Go
I'll
ahead.
begin by saying this. In Kenya, women are looked at the kitchen. What happens is this: when a girl, for instance, you have a girl and a boy child in school, they value the boy child than the girl. Why do they value the boy than the girl? They
What do you mean
believe
by girl? I'm sorry. Girl, what do you mean? Couldn't hear it.
girl child,
Girl.
girl
Girl,
child.
okay, go ahead. Yeah, good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes. What happens is you find that they prefer to take the boy child to school and the girl child to be taken to be a house help in somebody's house, so that the money she's being paid, the salary, to go and educate the boy. Why do
Yeah.
they do that? They feel that if a girl is married off, she might end up developing where she's being married. And like
Okay.
the boy will remain and develop their home.
Mhm.
You find that women, most of the work, they're not supposed to be heard, but they're supposed just to be seen. Most of the time, their work is just in the kitchen, doing household work. And
Okay.
if you look even our committees or boards, you find that the work of a woman, you'll just be co-opted in, and your work will just be opening prayer and closing prayer. If not that, they'll let you be treasurer so that you can handle money. But anything more than that, no, you cannot. They don't value women or girls. You find, like, for instance, now we have an issue with climate change and health. You find most of the women now, what happens is, you find there's an issue to do with water. Water is scarce. You find the burden is left to the women and girls to go and fetch water and also fetch firewood. It has reached to a point whereby I live near the forest, the only remaining tropical rainforest in Africa, that is Kakamega Forest. You find that now these women will go to the forest to go and look for firewood. When they are being caught by the forest wardens, what they do, they negotiate, they exchange sex for firewood, becomes a challenge.
Wow.
And then you find now the husband, since the wife goes very early to go and fetch firewood, remain back in the home. And he ends up maybe in the morning when he has taken, here there is a lot of illicit brew. Now you
Okay.
find a husband will go and do casual work. The money that he gets from casual work, because there they normally give them 10 o'clock tea and lunch. And when he's paid, he doesn't take the money home. Instead, he goes and drinks with his fellow men. When he comes back to the house, he's as good as a useless man because his work is just to sleep. Then the wife will wake up and go to the forest by 4 a.m. By the time the husband tries to look for the wife, he finds the wife is not there. Now what he will do is request the boy child, can you go and buy for me milk? He remains back and he starts now seducing the girl child, his own daughter. It becomes an issue again. When the woman finds out that the husband has been sleeping with the daughter, he tells the wife, in case you will make people be aware of what is happening, you will go to your home. Now you'll find the woman is silenced in the name of protecting her marriage. It becomes a challenge. And then now you find we also have issues to do with now health facilities, whereby now most of the women, they prefer using family planning methods, the implant one. But when they go to the health facilities, they don't find that. And that's now why now you find that women are giving birth at a high rate and the poverty rate is very high. It becomes a challenge in my community. It's so sad you find a girl is married off at a younger age, but when she goes there, she doesn't seem to understand what is in a marriage. Things are so green. And even getting now something like an identity card is also an issue. Now it's like now the girl is just an enslaved in that community. So we have a lot of barriers. And then now during this COVID-19 is when now the challenges were so many to say. For instance, cases of GBV were very high. Husbands now used to work in the capital city. They were retrenched, they're back in the homes. Now you find like now, even they cannot make ends meet in the same house because now by the end of the day, they just have quarrels, petty quarrels in the home. And now it becomes a challenge in that home. Now you find like now, even most of the women right now, issues of mental health have gone high in Kenya.
Wow.
Hardly days goes without hearing that her husband has killed the wife and the children, or even the husband and the wife have killed each other, the children have been left, or they've killed the children, and then the wife has been arrested. These cases are now on the rise at the moment.
Oh boy, that really sounds very grim. That's a sad tale.
Christine, this happens especially in the big cities or in rural areas, countryside areas, where this happens?
In the subnational level, this is the rural areas. But now in the big cities, what is happening now is that mental health has become a problem.
Of course, yeah.
COVID-19 has brought a lot of trouble in Kenya.
Sure, all over the world, sister, all over the world.
And then now, the economy has become unbearable, especially this Ukraine thing has caused more harm than good. Prices of things have shot up. And now you find that when you just open your TV or radio to hear the news, you just hear a husband has killed the wife. A wife has killed all the children in the name of preventing the husband, or the husband has killed the wife and the children. So there is a big problem happening in Kenya. And now what we are trying to do now, we are trying to bring up this issue of mental health. How can we integrate it? Because at the moment, primary health care, one of the components we have is mental health. And it's about prevention. So what we are doing now, we are trying to organize community dialogues with the community to enable them understand with this kind of situation, this is how we should live. And in case you find somebody telling you, I'll kill you, it's better you you give that person a break and then try to bring maybe your parents or the church members so that they can try and bring peace in between, rather than you staying in an abusive marriage and then by the end of the day, where you've been killed, it becomes a problem.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Christine. That's very, very interesting.
Thank you.
I'm going to lead off right now about America, about what's going on here. I can only
Mhm.
talk about New York. I really can't. But any place I've been, women have come a very long way. I'm not going to say that we're at perfection right now, but we have
Mhm.
definitely come a long way. We are, women have high scale jobs today. Women run for all kinds of office, and most of the times they've been getting it, except of course for president. We are very fortunate. We have a woman who ran for Supreme Court justice and ran for Supreme Court who was Black. The first time a Black woman was accepted to the Supreme Court. Women here have made, I think, women here have made tremendous strides. It does not mean that in the corporate world, and I think Lucida would agree with me, it doesn't mean that in the corporate world, women make the same thing as men. Women have to work twice as hard as
Yeah.
men do to get to where they are today. It's a very, very difficult, it's still the same career ladder, and still you only find fields like teaching where there are more women than men normally teaching. So you don't feel the inequity of this situation. But in other, like in the medical field and other fields, you have to watch out because women are not necessarily treated the same way that men are. But today, like I said, in New York, I find that we probably have it better than anyone else because I think most women are treated pretty good. And but we had a fight many years and many struggles to get to where we are today. We don't have it the way that you have, Christine, but with you, at least you're able to talk about it. Now you see in other countries, they don't even let them discuss it.
Yeah.
Like
You're
in
right.
Oman, you're not allowed to talk about being unhappy, etc. You know, you just have to accept what you have, and that's the way it is. And that's, you know, to me, that's a tough thing. So, you know, in retrospect, New York women, I think, women in the United States, for the most part,
Yeah.
probably except in rural parts, women are pretty lucky. What do you think, Lucida? Unmute.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm 71, going on 72 now, and I've seen huge advances during my lifetime. And it's easier now for women to get into various college courses to study professionally. And I know even when I was 18, it was extremely hard for a woman to be accepted into certain fields like medicine, and now that's changed. So I really celebrate the progress. I'm sure there's more. And the fact that when people had to work at home, it was often the women who had to be responsible for their children and things like that. Whereas when the children could go to school, they could do their job and they could earn a living and things like that. So the last 2 years have definitely made things harder for people.
Yeah.
But yeah. But compared to what you were describing, I mean, I hope that's not the situation for every woman. I mean, is it your situation, Christine?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Lucita's question was, do you live the way that you described? Like you're saying about how badly women have, do you have it badly? Or is it just, you're talking about just women in rural areas?
It's now cross-cutting between women in the rural and the urban areas.
What about you, your personal experience, Christine? You live there?
No, myself, I'm not married too.
Oh,
okay. I always feel that, and I always tell women, you know, when you empower a woman, you empower a nation.
That's right.
What I'm trying to do, what I'm doing in my company.
You are in the capital of Kenya, Dar es Salaam, or you are in a rural area yourself, Christine?
I'm in the rural part of Kenya.
Okay.
So what we are doing at the moment,
Mhm.
I'm trying to empower women.
Good.
How am I empowering women? I'm training them on leadership skills
Mhm.
and how women can support each other. You know, in Kenya, women don't support each other.
Hmm.
We have the
Mhm.
numbers, but we don't value our own. You'll find, like, even right now, as I'm speaking to you,
Mhm.
if a woman declares that she wants to vie for a president, you'll be shocked.
Oh, I see.
Women won't vote for her. Instead, they'll opt to vote for a man. And me
Mhm.
always say, if you give a woman a chance, you'll see some change. I'll give an example. Our
Mhm.
Chief Justice is called Martha Koome. She's a woman. And what
Mhm.
happens is, how she got that post, we have a constitution in Kenya. This constitution normally says 2/3 should be women, but we have never reached to that 2/3 gender. Why?
Mhm.
If you look at the education levels of women, there is a big gap.
Mhm.
And that's why it normally bans women from getting those positions. Two, you'll find a woman tearing her own woman in public. It's so sad. So what
Yeah.
we are doing at the moment, I've organized a group of women whereby we are each other's keepers. What do you
Wonderful.
do? What happens is this: you find a woman, the husband has died.
Oh my God.
The in-laws, they want to inherit her. So what we do, immediately the woman lost the husband, we normally come up with women, have mobilized women in a group. They've come up with that group, they stand by their fellow woman. It's like now they are a watchdog group, whereby they ensure that this woman, her property will not be taken away by the in-laws. And we stand firm with her. And in case somebody tries to get hold of her property, it's when now we come up as paralegals to ensure that justice prevails.
Mhm.
That is part of the work that I'm doing in the
That's wonderful.
community level.
Can I ask a question? Who, Christine, who do you think that is responsible of this, of this kind of, it's really sad. Who do you think, man, or I don't know, religion, or some constitution parts, or in general? Let's speak about the rural area and the capital of Kenya, maybe Dar es Salaam. Who do you think is responsible of all that, in your opinion, as a Kenyan lady? Who is responsible?
Culture is the one that is killing our people.
Okay.
And then there's this issue about money. Money
Money.
is the root of all evil. Yes.
Mm.
Money can buy all forms of things.
Yeah.
It's when
That's every-
now,
Yeah.
what we do as, when I
Mhm.
find there is a case, I need to justify it with the constitution and also a bill towards the same to ensure that justice prevails.
Yeah. I
Okay,
know
that's
that the capital of Kenya, Dar es Salaam, is a prospering, financial city all around the world. No, isn't it? The capital of
It
Kenya
is.
is known by a big, abundance of financial means. No.
Yes.
but doesn't help the average person.
Yeah.
It doesn't help.
What you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what she's saying. So
Okay.
It doesn't help.
not at all. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at least you have a group, at least you're empowering women. That's the first step that you can
Yeah.
take. And that's a very important step. Okay, Lasita, could you just tell us a little bit about women in London, women in England? Do you remember how women are treated?
Mm-hmm.
I'm bothering you today. I could feel it.
You don't
Um,
bother her. She's here to speak up.
it's just very hard, I think, to generalize beyond my own experiences.
Well, that's what I want your experience. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like I was always treated with respect and valued. I mean, my parents had two daughters, so there wasn't the competition with a male child or anything. So I didn't actually, in the end, complete a professional training that I work in, although I'm actually trained as a Waldorf teacher. So, I mean, there are jobs I could have within the fields that I have studied, but I haven't necessarily worked in them. I'm working in a business as, and it's rather esoteric, related to astrology. But so I just feel like I have been so fortunate, but I don't feel, it depends a lot between which class of society people come from.
Right.
And if people are poorer and working class or lower middle class, then they may not have the same opportunities. And then the woman is likely to have even less opportunities than the male. Also an issue of color and things like that. So I just think that there is progress, but it's still a long way to go, and especially amongst people who have less money.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will start and then I'll give it to Tofik. I will start talking about women in Morocco only because I was in Morocco several times. I don't see a great amount of equality there. Women can get jobs and probably paid similarly to what men are, but they're also expected to be home at a certain time to make dinner. They're expected to take care of the house, take care of the children.
Yeah.
There are many, many expectations that I don't see the freedom that we have here, nor do I see the ability to really, really talk. In fact, it happened at Casablanca, University of Casablanca. The women went out and they protested on what was going on, and they fought, and it helped a lot. But from what I could see, I would just describe my cafe experience. I was told not to sit by the people that I was with, that unless you're with men, you have to sit in the back of the cafe. You cannot sit in the front of the cafe. It's not culturally acceptable. To me, what's the difference where I sit? But I purposely wanted to sit in the front. And then I got an argument from one of the women's husbands said it was the wrong thing to do. So I think no matter where you go in the world, you'll see a little separation. Of course, like I said, in the United States, I think we've made so much progress, and I'm proud of that. Okay, Tofik, take it away.
Yes, I agree with what Lynn said about women in Morocco, but there is a special thing to mention here. There was difference between a rural area and city areas. In my native city, where I was born, Casablanca city is the capital, economic capital of Morocco. Yes, Lynn is right. We rarely find this kind of inequality between men and women, and generally in most of big cities. But in rural area or sub-rural area, there was still this kind of separation, this kind of inequality between, women and men. But still, comparing with many other Arabic, Muslim, third world countries, Morocco has done a great progress in that. But let me now go back to the culture. That's why I asked Christine, is that the culture? Is that the state or the government? Or yeah, my point was that it depends. Everything depends on where those ladies, men are living, and what is the degree of education in that area. When we talk about education, we don't make any difference between rural and cities area, because thanks God, Morocco now education is all over the places, rural or, but still we have a lot of challenges to put women and men in the same, the desired equality is not there at all. But there is a progress. Let me just give an example about education. Universities are, full of, and there are many and students there, especially women, ladies. So there was a great progress in that. And Lynn mentioned teachers or education jobs. The big percentage of education or teachers or people, educators are women. And concerning the general area, in cafes, for example, we were in Marrakesh, me and my wife, before coming here to New York, and we made a little conference about this. And I have the video, maybe I can share later on. And yes, you got every cafe in Morocco. I talk about the big cities. You can't find the lack or absence of women in the front, sits there, and this quite weird, but doesn't reflect or doesn't mean that there was a complete separation or complete inequality between man and woman. But things are getting better, and yes, there is a big inequality between men and women, especially in most Arabic and Muslim countries, comparing with US. Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Does anybody else have anything to say?
I'd like to say, where Muslims are,
Yeah.
I've seen that
Yeah.
women and men cannot be put together in a class.
Oh, I see. Same thing with religious Jews. If you send your child to a
Yes.
school called a yeshiva, girls have to
Mm.
go to different classes and boys to different classes, and never together.
By
Yes.
the way, Christian, I just want to add, the religion doesn't allow that. I mean, it's not because of religion. It's because of the mentalities. It's because the wrong culture. Religion, or let's say Islam, between brackets, Jewish has also that, as you said, in the progressive, in the, hard religious areas. But Islam never, or religion never separates or favors man with woman. So it's not a religious stuff, it's a mentality and culture. There is a big difference between religion and culture.
I agree.
That's not what I mean. Even here in US, there were many places that there was this inequality. It doesn't mean that it's all over US, but this happens even here. So just to mention that religion is not a factor that makes this happen, this inequality happen. It's wrong. And most of the time, people don't really understand what religion really does or doesn't. Just a point that I wanted to mention here for Christian.
Okay. So the reason that Najed isn't here today is that Najed is celebrating Ramadan. It's close to the breakfast time.
Okay.
So she could
Happy
be
Ramadan.
here. And the reason that Shirley sees it the truth. The reason that Shirley isn't here is that Shirley's brother got very sick, and they found out that he was drinking again. So they've had him in all kinds of different programs, and I don't know what happened, because when I spoke to her last Friday, he was doing okay. I guess something must have happened where he isn't doing so well today. And so that's the reason the two of them aren't here, or we would have had two more. And so let's all, quietly in your own way, whenever you have a chance, say a prayer for Shirley's brother. His name is Jim. And she has her hands full. She's been having a really, really difficult time with him. And that's the story there. So that's why we're missing a whole bunch of people.
Sweetie, what about Sukaina? Did you know why?
Duquesne is working and she can't
Okay.
right now. She's spending her time working. It was not a good time for her. She had something to do. She had work to do.
Okay.
I didn't even invite her to this meeting because I didn't think she could make it. So why bother?
Okay. Good.
Okay, but I want to thank Christina and Lisita and Tawfiq for giving us their wisdom. And hopefully the next meeting, which will be in 2 weeks, we will see more people and we'll find a subject that will be, a subject that we can all talk about. Anything
Sure.
else to say, Lisita?
Because of my cycle, maybe we could try and get back onto next week and then 2 weeks or something. But it depends.
Okay.
You have a topic for next week.
I do have a time next week.
No, I don't particularly.
Mhm.
And
Why?
yeah, so no, so I'm just, so it would be nice if it got back onto my up
On the
cycle.
cycle.
Good.
Okay, even if we just sat and we talked, it would be just fun. We'll find a topic. And Christina, you too could think of a topic that we could discuss about women and anything that has to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And FYI, the COVID numbers are raising in the United States. Over here,
yeah.
the COVID is in New York are going up.
Oh dear. Christine, thank you for having shared that rather depressing news about what women, especially in the countryside, might go through.
Yeah.
So there aren't more women getting to be educated and things like that?
Yes, and even right now, as I'm talking to you, yesterday, they were announcing from the DHS, that is the data from the Health Information System of Kenya, 17,685 girls are pregnant.
Sorry?
17,685 girls
Oh my God.
Oh God.
are pregnant and infected with HIV.
Oh,
And their age bracket is between 15 and 24 years.
terrible.
Oh, young people, really.
Yes.
It's terrible.
And that's why I'm telling you, at the moment, Kenya, we are having a problem. And if you come to establish where the causes of this is because girls are exchanging sex for sanitary towels.
Oh my God.
What a terrible thought.
And
Okay,
you can imagine now, that is between January and February. Schools closed the early March, and this April, they'll be opening in April 24. You can imagine how the numbers again will shoot. It's very unfortunate.
I'm sorry to hear that.
How many people are in Kenya? Just how many people are in the whole country?
How could you say?
Kenya, we have a big population.
Big millions, right? Millions?
Yes, we are millions.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies.
The big number of citizens may cause, other, cause because of all this happens with lack of education.
There have to be some. I still think there have to be some women that are educated, like Christine, that are helping other women who are not educated.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to do it, is to have all these have all these groups that can help others and inform them and help them get to the point that they are educated. So maybe some of you could see some change somewhere along the line. It's just one more thing to add to our prayers. Okay, everyone, it has been a pleasure. And Lorraine, if you could think, Lucita, if you could think of a topic for next Monday, I'm all yours. Now I put it in your ballpark. Mwah, mwah. Thank you, Christine, again, and thank you, Tawfiq. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.